Welcome to the Pixelberry Choices podcast. I'm your host Nirbande, and today I'm going to be talking about my top five antagonists. Basically, on a group chat with Kat brought this up, and I thought it would be really interesting to do this to see, who you guys come up with. So, this is my top five, and it's totally personal to me how I felt like while reading a book, who is the worst, and but I would definitely like to know your best antagonist in the comment section below. It can be five, it can be 15, or it can be one from each book you've read. So it's totally up to you. First of all, I would like to say that my top antagonist is someone who is not a main antagonist in that book, but is definitely one of the worst characters. And he is Chief Waltz, Tommy Waltz, I think, from Veils of Secret. This is a character, a chief police officer in that book, and who has ties with the aristocrat family in Birchport, where the events take place of Veils of Secret. And I felt like Choices did a very good job with the introduction of Chief Walls and how he always suppresses MC. And whenever we try to dig things up or we suggest something really good, like they need to search, they just always suppress us. They always say something. No, you don't need to do this. You don't need to do any kind of research or any kind of any kind of search at all. And he just says whatever Pierce says, the head of the family who he is working for. We knew from the very first moment there's got to be something with this family and this police officer. He's defending them or something, or maybe he just is a corrupt police officer because he just takes money from them and stuff. So he's also with that. And but the way Choices designed his character, he really gets under your skin because you feel helpless at one point. You want to continue the research to find Kate, the search, your search to find Kate, to know what happened. Kate is not there at blame. Kate hasn't done anything wrong, but this police officer keeps talking for that family, for Pierce, and says Kate is that, Kate is bad, the chick ran away, she's got no class, insulting everyone, even not considering you, bullying his junior officers and stuff. So the way his character was designed, it really got under my skin, and at that point I really wanted to punch him in the face. So I would say it's a very, very great book Choices brought up, and it was really good. The character Chief Walls, because it's a really great antagonist character, and personally for me, I felt like it was so interactive. I was into the moment. Chief Walls was a real character for me at some point. So props to Choices, and this is my number one antagonist or bad character in Choices. Number two is Vince from America's Most Eligible. In season one, Ivy was the main antagonist character, but at the end of season one, we get to know about Vince and the horrible thing he did with Sienna, I think, or Sierra, I can't remember, the other character back in the previous season with Adam, and that is sort of the glimpse we get of Vince. And season 2, the All-Star season, Vince gets included. We get to know her, and we see this sort of power, the evil power couple thing with Vince and Ivy, and then we really regretted that. But by the end of the chapter, even though we come to terms with Ivy, but Vince keeps being the bad character, bad guy. And then we go to the wedding season, Vince, Ivy, the evil power couple versus our main character and our love interest fighting for the best wedding of our lives. And at the end, Ivy turns out to be a modest character, and she ends up on our side because she was being manipulated and by her mom, and on the other side by Vince. So at the end, we see how horrible a character Vince is. The rules Vince follows, and the way he humiliates everyone. So Vince, I would say, was a pretty bad character. in terms of what he did to Adam, that was horrible. And then how we dealt with them in chapter 2. I don't think chapter 2 was that bad with Vince, but specifically not book 2, excuse me, and book 3, specifically in this wedding season, what he did and how we found out Vince's dirty little secrets and how he manipulated even his the partner who was with him as a partner in the marriage, and how he manipulated everyone. I would say that made Vince the worst character, and how he treated everyone offset, even with Ryan. I think he doesn't even pronounce his name correctly. It humiliates him and everyone. So even our designer, she even exposes that he has this fake curly hair at the end if you choose this big diamond scene to humiliate Vince. So I really enjoyed that. But I would say Vince was a really great antagonist character of America's Most Eligible, and because it had 3 books, he got to we got to know them more. We got to know all the characters more and Vince more, and sort of his development as an antagonist character, what things he can cook up, what plans, tricks he's got under his sleeves. We got to know all about that, and it was a really good book, and Vince, a great antagonist in that book. Now, number 3, Brian from High School Story. High School Story, a great book, and Brian is the main antagonist character in book 1. Also, book 2, he acts as the main antagonist character, or creates problem for our main character. And the third book, when Hearst High gets burned up, and then the whole school shifts to our Berry High. Some folks who live in the same block as Berry High. Then we get to meet Brian, and the jerk Brian was. The focus in the third book was on Kara and Max, but Brian was still creating problem in that book. And even in book 2, he created a whole lot of problem. In book 1, how he treated everyone, how he cheated on Caleb's girlfriend, and even how he made everyone felt so little in front of him, and how he treated Emma. Even he made her cry, and for him, Emma exited the classroom, and we go after her. Well, that's how the romance part starts with Emma and MC. But the way, Brian treats everyone, it really got under his skin. And always we wanted is a punch on Brian's face. And even when the trilogy ended, in the next part, our second main character for the High School Story class act, they also sort of faced Brian. I remember there was a party in Brian's house because Brian's sister, Sky, our love interest in class act. So we also see what a jerk Brian is in that book. And throughout this High School Story, we see Brian creating problem for both the MCs and a lot of other people. So Brian is definitely, he deserves his third spot. He has been in there for a long time. His antagonist quality, and how he can get under your skin at first. So it was really worth it. So Brian, though it's a high school story, so at the end also we come to terms with Brian just for a second in the finale. He doesn't say anything, but still Brian is always going to be this evil character that he is. Now, number 5. This is interesting, and this character would have been in number 3 or number 2, only because this has only one book. So that's why this character is antagonist character. I would say it's number 4, and this is Ansel from Heist of Monaco. Heist Monaco, in that book, Ansel, we first find he's a member of our crew, and he's also with us doing this illegal stuff and robbing the rich people. But then he snitches on us. He basically betrays us and says, oh, hey, look, I caught the bad guys and I'm suddenly the good guy. And the whole journey was, in the whole book, to teach Ansel a lesson and punch him in his face, and what a horrible person he is, to expose it. So Ansel, what he does is to make him crack under pressure, under his own this evil thing that he has built over time, just to make it drop over his body and just to make him crumple under that. Make him writhe under that. That's what we wanted throughout the book. So it was MC's journey against Ansel, and it's just not MC, but Ansel has humiliated a lot of other people. So definitely it was a great book, and Ansel acted as a great antagonists. And till the end, even we don't know if we are able to, you know, beat Ansel. So till the end moment, he tries to kill our MC and the betrayal. So Ansel was worth it, and one of the great antagonist character, Ansel from Heist Monaco. Now, finally, lastly, number five, it's the Everett Rook from Endless Summer, and well, he has this perspective. He wants to make a good, better world, but all he has done, he has hurt people, he has killed people, and not just people, he has killed millions and millions of people. Even he has wiped the whole population from the world. And what he got nothing. So he just feeds his ego, he satisfies his ego, and he has one goal, and that is he wants to manipulate time, dimension, everything, and he wants to become the king, and he wants to have his minions, and that's all he cares about. He doesn't care about his own son, he doesn't care about his wife, and he just tells them, look, we have a big purpose, but they don't have a purpose. It's all because of him. He tells everyone he feeds off of weak people. He got Leela, who was in a car crash, and he made her a part of her team, but only to make her do the bad things that he couldn't do himself, to kill steal his mom and stuff. So he just used everyone, and to so that he wouldn't make his own hands dirty, but they would do their job, and he would achieve all the things. Time, dimension, everything would be on his side, and he would be the powerful person on the earth. And he he argues a strong case. He's doing for the good of the humanity, but all he's doing, he's hurting people. That's all he's doing. He's killing people. That's all he's doing. A person who is going to make things better, they wouldn't hurt anyone for anything, because that's not a start for a good cause. That's definitely not. And on million times he tries to kill MC, and in a horrible way he separates our friends with us from us, and it's just a horrible thing he did. And other characters also, Lundgren, I think. So it was a great book with this antagonist Everett Rook, and a complete book, and we see him from book 2 to book 3, how he develops as an antagonist character, and it was a fun to defeat him. That's all. These are my top 5 antagonists from all the other choices books. Now there are also a lot of antagonist characters. I couldn't include them because I just wanted to keep the list short. But let me know in the comment section below who are your top antagonists, and mostly because a lot of books that had just one book, the antagonist didn't develop well, and in some books antagonists also have a backstory that doesn't make them that bad character. But these are the ones that really stood out to me as pure antagonists, with no backstory, with nothing, and just with a pure hatred that they have for MC or the people, or just that's what I think. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are on this, and I'm planning to make 2 more videos next. One would be the top 5 book covers, and on top 5 main characters in choices. I'll be doing that next. Till then, stay safe, see you then, and peace out.